Welcome back, everybody, to episode 225 FLA Exposure, sponsored by our good friends at Coldstream Clear. Coldstreamclear.com. Check them out online. John, how you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Welcome back to our three fans that are watching, and thanks for joining us here online as we discuss and break down our card that took place last weekend at the Zatzman Sportsplex in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, man.
What do you think?
That was good. That was a great one. I think, probably the best crowd we've ever had. It was great to get in HRM finally in Dartmouth, Sportsplex somewhere we've been working to put a show on there for a while. And, turned out awesome, man. Everything ran really smooth, load in, load out. Everyone showed up and supported the fighters, and the fighters put on a great show. I thought it was, definitely one of our best shows yet, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, pretty spectacular weekend. The circus came to town. The circus was successful, and we leave. On to the next.
Gone like the wind.
Yeah. Great weekend. Thanks again to all of our staff who worked so hard behind the scenes to make everything happen. You're all, we don't get to, well, we do say it, try to say it as much as we can, but you're very, very valued in making this happen. Our sponsors and family, friends, and like we always say, the teams and athletes and coaches for the hard work that you guys do and behind the scenes to make this all happen too. So overall, awesome weekend for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Let's run through it, eh? We'll go bottom to top and top to bottom.
We might as well start, I guess, like we do usually with the main event. Our good friend there, Mr. Chris Kalidas, the Greek assassin, put down the gloves for the final time in a great fight. A lot of people complimented that fight. Again, the cool thing about our fights is that you can go from novice amateur, advanced amateur, right into a pro card, and you can really see the difference as the night progresses in the lineup. And that's what I think a lot of people really loved from that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And just a great fight between two gentlemen,
Yeah, both of them so experienced. I mean, Chris with his 20th fight, and Morgan with his 13th pro fight, I think it was. So just a ton of experience, and they both were very calculated and skillful. And man, I got to give it up for, Chris's, cage work and wrestling, we know is fantastic, and he really showed on the weekend. But Morgan's wrestling was very impressive, man, and his ability to stay up on his feet and work in those tough positions. I mean, we kind of expected that kind of a game. Chris was going to grind him out and mitigate the big risk, which is Morgan's striking, man. But they had a couple firefights and a bunch of great wrestling and just put on an awesome fight.
Yeah. And both of them came out pretty much unscathed. Like, it was a really fun fight for people to watch that are fight fans, because it was just like kind of edge of your seat the whole time. You really didn't know what was going to happen. And you're exactly right. Morgan put on a great performance, man. Great defensive performance. I really would love to see him let his hands go. I'm sure, this is for him, it's he would love that a little as well. But the kid's got phenomenal striking, and he's a kind of a guy that, I don't know. I just would love to, I'd love to maybe see him try kickboxing or something like that, where he doesn't have to wrestle as much, because he's super exciting to watch. And but we'll see where he comes back from here. And we've already been talking about other fights, and we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think coming off spending a full 15 minutes in the cage with Chris, someone who's at that level, has got to rub off for Morgan, and I'm sure we see a whole level after this, no question.
And by no means, like, I'm not saying like try kick out, like stop him. I just mean like because he's so fun to watch striking.
Yeah, it's his strength for sure. Yeah,
that.
Yeah, that left high kick's coming all day.
Oh, man, yeah, like he almost caught Chris a couple times with that, and Chris winking at them. They had a couple fun exchanges there too, and like you said, man, just a great fight between two kind of East Coast legends, guys who've done a lot for the sport out here, and way to cap the card off for sure. Chris had a ton. They both had a lot of people. But Chris had a ton of fans in the house for sure.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and it was, great to see him go out with a win. Great speech, no serious injuries, a couple bumps and bruises, and good cap on to a great career.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the text. Yeah, well, that you're right, John. We'll go right to the first of the card after that main event. To the first of the card, to open the card. It's hilarious. Miles Spence taking on Anton Crispy Cremo.
Yeah, those crispy right crosses.
Yeah, that was a beautiful finish. Like 18 seconds, I believe it was, and
Yeah, super
welcome to
quick.
Fight.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, both guys showed up. Both guys a little bit small, I think, for 172. Like they weren't tipping the scales. They
Yeah,
didn't look too strung out. So who knows, where they'll land in the future, weight class wise. But man, Anton's striking was just super, super tight. Landed some really crisp laser beam right crosses, and that's all it takes. I mean, we know in the amateurs, they got to step in a little bit earlier, try to protect the fighters, and I
great
hope
stuff.
Miles.
Too.
Yeah, great stoppage. I hope Miles goes back to the gym, works hard, and comes back as well. But yeah, Anton. I mean, Anton needs to get back in there ASAP, man. That kid's
Yeah.
talented.
Very much so. It's nice to start. Again, like our MMA scene here is so traditionally jujitsu MMA based. We're starting to see a
True.
little crossover now from some of the boxers locally that are kind of starting to make their way over to Fight League Atlantic, and it's cool to see
It
because we
is.
haven't seen that before, and it's really neat because it's going to make everybody better and really round out the the scene locally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pumped. That was a great fight. And just a great attitude by both too. Like Miles, he
Yeah.
took his bruises and was very thankful for the experience and back to the gym and right back to the drawing board. So yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Good way to
Exactly,
open.
man. It was. It was a great way to open it up, and then, of course, our next fight, Drew McPhee, Matt McGrath's camp, and Brett Maloney out of TJ's camp. At 135. It was an awesome night for the bantamweights. Obviously, it was very heavy on bantamweights, very heavy on debuts, and everyone showed up. But Drew McPhee and Brent Maloney, I mean, Drew caught him with an uppercut combo and put him
Yeah,
down fairly quick as well. I think this one was 12 seconds. Um, you always feel bad for the guys that get taken out quick. I mean, they don't really get to show any of their skill set, right? It's one thing to have you lose a decision after a good battle or get choked out in the third round, but I hope these guys bounce back, get to the gym, they're okay, come back quick. But Drew McPhee again looks super sharp. Obviously, first round KO, and geez, we started off the card with two very very quick finishes. And had everyone at the edge of their seat right from the very beginning. Yeah.
yeah. Let's take a look at it.
Back to his feet quickly. Throws the high kick in the upper. Right hand drops him, and that's going to do it. Lightning quick finish.
Amazing. The old 6-3-2.
Yeah, that was beautiful to watch. The kid's definitely made a name for himself. That whole 35, 45 pound, it's funny from year to year, they change a little bit, and what divisions are a little bit bigger, but man, kids
The
really made
the
waves.
bantamweight division just went crazy on
Yeah.
Saturday, right? So many of these guys came out at 35 and put on a show, and yeah, it's amazing that division is really growing, and the talent pool is deepening. So I love it.
Yeah, and Breton, keep your chin up, brother.
Oh
You
yeah,
got
for sure.
I
Yeah,
think he's fine too. I spoke to him. He's in a great mood. Great, well, not a great mood probably, but great spirits and just gonna get
of
back.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, getting caught's tough. It happens.
yeah, that's it. So we've seen it a lot, definitely.
Hmm.
Moving on to the next one. This I believe was Trevin. Was this Trevin versus
Yeah,
Todd?
Trevin versus Ty. Trevin left board versus Ty Borden.
Fun fight.
Whittall's again versus Tarwan. This might have been fight of the night or one of them. It was an awesome fight. Again, Trevin, one of Whittall's boxers. Man, he had some great hands. He landed some really nice shots on the feet. Ty landed some shots of his own, and his wrestling, really what won him the fight. surprise, surprise.
And you know what though?
Yeah,
But he was like
it was
considering
big.
like the length of him and how tall he was. I kind of thought that
Mhm,
Ty might be able to get under him a little bit easier, but
mhm.
like, really was like he was digging those underhooks and he was really defending
Yeah.
quite well. I was quite
Oh, he
surprised.
was. Yeah.
And like a very well-rounded kid for like first fight. Both of those guys, man, like what a performance!
Both
Like
those guys very well rounded for first fight. It was great,
yeah,
very high
great
level
fight.
first fight. But I was very impressed with the conditioning of both of them as well. That was a grueling fight, and yeah, no,
Fun one for the
Trevin's
fans.
hand looked sharp, man. What's that?
It was a fun one for the fans.
It was. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was one of the best fights on the card.
Yeah.
Um, and went to a split decision, of course, for Ty. Right, he got the nod there, but split decision, man. That just shows you how well they were matched up, and yeah, awesome fight.
Yeah, I agree. It was great, great overall. Both of the guys too. Again, both guys left pretty much. I'm not saying unscathed, but
Yeah,
again,
you're
pretty
always
healthy.
banged up a bit after 3 rounds, but no one's seriously injured. Good spirits. I saw Trevor again the next morning and at the fighter hotel, and yeah, man, he was loving it. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's it. Having a good time and enjoying the process, enjoying the experience. So, um,
absolutely. Just a couple more great additions to the roster, man. It was awesome.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, love it. Number 4 was
Hunter versus Brady. Hunter Savage versus Brady Rushton.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so this one was a little all over the place. Bantamweights again, of course. Brady definitely, had his moments in the first round. Probably won that first round. Um, Hunter woke up, I guess, in the second round. Um, he had his moments as well. A couple good knockdowns, but I mean, the fouls unfortunately kind of became the story of this fight. Uh, you know, Hunter caught him there. I believe it was the second round. He knocked him down and caught him in the transition with a punch. You know, it happens. Their shots are already being fired as he's falling. But he was on the ground, I guess. So, he ended up having a point deducted there. Definitely hurt him. And then, he knocked him down again in the third round and kicked him. And apparently, maybe it was a low blow. Anyway, Brady was done after that, and Doctor Stoppage went to a decision. It was a confusing one for everybody watching. Referee Ryan definitely handled it, I think, as best he could. It was pretty
100%.
chaotic, and
How
and
do you control it either way? Like that's the thing, right? Like it's live sports, it's combat sports, and
it's
I
split
see
second
people talking
decisions. There's
about
lots
like
going on. Yeah, the
you
skill
see people
set. I mean,
comment,
the rules dictate. If the way things go, this is how the protocol. And yeah. Anyway, I mean, the video's out. You know, we hope everyone's okay. I really feel bad for the way this ended, especially for Hunter and these guys that put so much into it, right? Like nobody wants to fight to end that way. I know Brady probably didn't want to fight to end that way either. Um, and for any confusion out there, what happened is after the stoppage in the third round, the doctor called it off. The fight was over, but because it was out of the first round, it goes to a technical decision. So they go to the scorecards and score what part of the fight was completed. So that's what happened. And then, of course, Hunter had a point deducted early, which tipped the scorecards in
it was
Brady's
early in
favor.
round 3, so it's like how do you score round
Yeah,
3? Like
yeah. Round three, it was a few seconds into the round. I mean, if you scored it as a complete round, I guess Hunter had a knockdown immediately. So, but yeah,
so
we're
that's
not
the thing.
judges. We're not part of the. We that's not within our control at all. Yeah. So anyway, that's the story there on that one, guys. It was a decision for Brady because they scored what part of the fight was completed.
Yeah. And that's the last we're going to talk about that. We're going to move on to the next fight. And Cody O'Halloran versus
Yeah,
James Richardson.
James. Yeah. This was a friggin' awesome fight, actually. Both these guys are really, really great striking, but, you know, James caught Cody early, hit him, took him nice left hand or right hand to his eye. And we saw him fade a little bit. It seemed like it hurt him a little bit, but he bit down. And I was really impressed with Cody's hands and his head movement. But James was just very accurate and looked like he was hitting very hard, man. This one might have been stopped a little bit late. Even Cody went down a couple times. And James was just pouring it on. But I mean, James' debut didn't go his way. He got caught. I can't remember. Was it a guillotine? But either way,
I thought it was a decision against Connor, but I can't remember. Maybe it was he. Maybe he
I
didn't get just.
can't remember. But it didn't go his way. So he obviously came back with a fire lit under his ass, man. He looked very impressive. I thought both these guys looked very impressive. If you watch the exchanges, very high level, and you can just tell that the way they're reacting and ducking and countering. It was awesome. 139 catch weight. I guess probably Cody probably going to move to 35 and James to 45. I'm guessing, or what is the I don't know. Either way,
yeah.
a catch weight
but
fight.
I'd like to see really Cody, take some time. He's doing all right back in Newfoundland. He's okay, and first and foremost, the health of these athletes is the concern when somebody gets hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt. It's part of the game, it's part of the process. But and he's doing good, which is good. So hopefully we'll see him back, like you said, at 35 in the spring, something like that.
Yeah, he's healing up. Nothing's broken, so he's and of course James with an awesome TKO in round one, man. Like he looked incredible. He's obviously been in the gym working hard since his last fight, which was quite a while ago now. And hats off to James, man, and look forward to your next one.
Listen, that team at Grant's Martial Arts is slowly building. Like, they got a few like smaller guys in there, a couple bigger guys in there. Now they're growing like just quietly under the radar, and very talented group of athletes in there too. Obviously led by, a great team at the helm there at the front. So, exciting future for that gym, big time. Beautiful performance, man. Well, Jon, well said.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good. All right. We had our intermission. Pretty uneventful. Good time. And then what's that?
Did nothing happen in intermission?
Yeah, nothing. People got some drinks and went to the washroom, and then we came back and
I have to say, I think that was by far, shout out to the fans in Coldstream, because I think that was by far the most cans I've ever seen on the floor at any
Oh my goodness.
That was
mountains of cans being swept up after the show. Yeah.
Shout out to Team VistaCare
there. Yeah. No, people were having a good time. So we came back from intermission. Shion Fail and Sean Ketty. I mean, 155, couple strong 55ers. Renzo Gracie versus Tower One. And I mean, both guys look good, but Shion with the round one TKO on Ketty. Could have gone a little bit longer. Hard to say. I mean, the refs there protect the fighters. It's amateur. They definitely, need to get it. We hate to see a late stoppage, right? And
I'd much rather than late, unfortunately.
Yeah, for safety wise, for sure, no question.
Bro,
I really hope Sean Ketty can get back in soon, get some redemption. He deserves that. And Shion, man, I mean, this guy's a bit of a star in the making, I think, and he's young and he's progressing very quickly, and obviously he hits hard. And damn, man, who knows what's next for him?
Throwing it out there. All right, there you have it, folks. Throwing it out there. Sean Ketty, 145. Let's get him on the September card. Little redemption. Throwing it out there. Who wants to fight him? Huh? 145. Sean Ketty. Let's go. Find him a fight. Everybody wants to talk. They want to fight. Sean Ketty.
There's a fight. Done. Yeah. Put September together now. It's really coming along.
Good kid. Great guy.
Absolutely. All right, man. This was an awesome fight. Chris Beck versus Jesse Hopper. 135 again. You know, Chris coming in 1-1, Opper coming in 0-2. You know, it was yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it was do or die for Opper Whopper, but you know, he definitely was hunting for that win. These guys had some great back and forth. I thought Jesse looked good everywhere. I thought he looked good in the stand up, and I thought he looked obviously amazing. You know, he had great takedowns and he controlled, just dominated on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, almost had to finish in the second, and then gets the
Oh,
tap in the third round. Yeah, but yeah, you know,
yeah.
Chris Beck, in my opinion, is one of the more high level bantamweights we have, and Opper had a great game plan, and man, it was awesome to hear him on the mic. You know, the thing he said, he's like, I might have lost twice, but I won once, and he was pumped, and it was an awesome moment, and hats off to both those guys for a great performance. You know, both of them. You know, again, let's get these guys back ASAP. We know Jesse Opper fight's going to be exciting. There's no freaking question, right?
He does nothing. Jesse Opper does nothing unexciting.
Yeah.
He is like one of those mysterious men on the planet. If you want to have some fun, hang out with Jesse Opper and Sarah Wilson. You're going to have some fun. Good people, great performance. And like you said, John, very well said, man, because he's another guy. He's helped out at our events in the past. Going pretty well. And it's cool to see guys like that who progress, like really, bite down and progress. And pissed off at that last fight last year at FLA 11, was pissed and came back and really fought a super smart fight.
Much more calculated. Yeah,
very much more calculated, and really improved, like you said. So, and even improved in the post-fight speech, man. Like you said, it was just a very cute kind, like trying not to swear and just like being like really. It was really.
No, he was great on the mic too, man. I mean, and that's definitely something I don't want to say we look for, but we definitely notice it, right? Like if someone's swearing, it's like, come on. And if, someone just can't talk on the mic at all, it's very obvious. So when someone gets on there and is well spoken and articulate, it definitely helps. And it's nice to see, it's nice to see that emotion, from winning and accomplishing something so difficult. And yeah, man, it was great.
And shout out again to Chris, man. Love that kid. GF team, great people, great gym, great performance, and
he did great.
See him back in November, I would assume, most likely in his hometown in November. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I like that fight. I got a couple ideas for Mr. Beck.
Sweet.
Chris Beck. Then the co-main event. JP Lerma Lopez, again part of GF Team Moncton now, and training with those great team there, taking on Sam Rhino.
Yeah, Sam coming up making his pro debut at 135. Obviously, we know a lot about him as an amateur with 3 knockouts, 3-0, and Juan. Previously, we saw him compete against Abdel. And Sam kind of surprised everybody. He went for the takedown fast, right? Juan came out pretty gung ho, man. Landed a couple shots. Sam had a beautiful takedown and just dominated him on the ground. Finished him with the same move for a fantastic debut. I mean, it can't really go much better than that. Took no damage. Got a quick win. Finished him. Off you go.
Yeah, great performance, buddy. Couldn't agree more. And he's very stylish. He changed. There's a funny clip. Remember when we were watching they were in the cage before the event, and he had like a Ralph Lauren sweater on. And we were laughing, and he was like, "Oh, well, I used to be an amateur. Now I'm a pro. I got to wear the nice stuff." It was like a vintage Ralph Lauren. It was a hilarious moment from him because he's so quiet.
That's awesome.
It was a really funny moment. So it was a great performance, man. Overall, like another kid who's got a ton of talent coming from spitting out talent all over the place. So let's take a look at the finish.
Lerma Lopez trying to find a way. It's slipping under the neck now. You can see the tension rolling under, twerking on the back as well. And that's the tap. Victorious in his professional debut. Sam Rhino 1-0.
Awesome.
Twisted him sideways. Like a lot of torque in that choke, man. Like a kid's like, whew, kid must be strong.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, he
Right.
comes in shape, man. You know he's strong for sure.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, he's grappling with he's grappling with Abdullah and Gavin and those guys all the time. You know, Pat Carroll, like he's got to be strong, man. You know, those guys are gonna be pushing him. So yeah, sky's the limit for Sam Reno. Coming off that, hope Juan's doing all right, and we get to see him again soon. It's great to have him in the Maritimes now and available to fight. And you know, he's one of the nicest guys you're ever gonna meet. Always smiling, great attitude, right? He was talking to Abdel afterwards, like, "Oh, you taught him well, right? Got them with the same move." It's like,
Yeah,
yeah. So, yeah,
yeah,
man, it was a good way. The pros with Sam's debut and then Kalede stepping in. You know, it was too bad Rory's fight fell off in the last couple of weeks due to our injury, right? You know, hopefully get him back again soon. But you know, and I want to give a shout out to everybody on the card too. Everybody made weight, you know, which we don't see very often. Weigh-ins were seamless, no issues at all. Everyone made weight first time, first try. Everyone showed up to their pre-fight medicals on time and got through that smoothly. So, you know, all the athletes that got your medicals done and your licensing and showed up on time and on weight, thank you very much. When you guys act like, you know, true professionals, it makes our life a lot easier, the commission's life a lot easier, you know, because there's just a zillion moving parts, and chasing you guys around for this stuff is shouldn't be part of it, but unfortunately it is. So appreciate you guys getting everything done and showing up. And yeah, great fights, and very glad to see nobody got badly injured this show. You know, there was no issues. I think our canvas came out probably one of the cleanest times ever.
I was thinking about that yesterday.
Oh my God! After the Christian fight with with Squid Vicious, holy shit, man, that was a
Yeah,
bloodbath.
not
Right,
very.
with Jake and Gino right before that, it was 2 fights back to back that were just absolute wars. And you know, we had a lot of good finishes in this show, and but it was good to see everyone was okay. And yeah, I think the fans had a good show. I think that walkout setup was probably the best one we ever had. That looked amazing on camera.
Yeah,
The replay
sure.
looked really good. The pay-per-view. Shout out to Danny and the boys there, and John Morgan and Tim on the mic. I thought were great. And everything about it, man. It was a good show. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, that's it. We'll see you in September, everybody. We're going to keep putting out the highlights, keep putting out the content, and then we'll probably start dropping fights here in, I would say, mid-July for FLA 16 in Pictou. Tickets should be on sale in the next 2 weeks at the latest, I would think.
At the latest, yeah.
July 1st, hopefully, and then we should be boogieing on. Again, a double event weekend. We got Tapper Tag on Friday night. We're going to have another big tailgate party on Saturday out front of the arena, and so make sure you book your accommodation, get everything booked, and we're going to have another banger sellout of a show on September 21st in Pictou, and that guy we hope to have on the card right there.
Absolutely.
Bam. All right, folks, you have a wonderful day. John, anything you'd like to add?
Thanks again for all the support. On to the next one. Let's go.
Awesome. Keep it up, folks. Thanks for all our fans. Thanks for all your hard work. And thanks to our wives for putting up with it. We love you. See you soon. Oh, I screwed that up. Awkward.